Who's there? Who's there? Okay. Nature. Nature. What you choice me?
Battery low for what? Sorry.
My neighbor's own is still not. Check. Let's check traffic again. See what we are. Ready to call with with
Muted myself. Okay, that's much better. Good evening and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm so excited because today's it's an amazing lecture, and by God's grace, if you came with answers in your mind, in your head, we will clarify a few things today to the best of my knowledge and ability. So once again, my name is Dr. Susanna, and today's lecture is just like every lecture is for you, because I pray all the time. Someone said, "Oh, Dr. Susan, you've been doing this for many years. Every single week, a different topic. Don't you run out of topic?" I don't even repeat. I hardly repeat topics. Don't you run out of topics? And I say, I just pray to God that please speak to your people, because I'm sure somebody is praying for a certain answer. And so these topics come, then definitely, of course, we have to plan it out for the year to make sure that we are not overdoing certain things and underdoing certain things. So once again, I want to thank you so much for paying attention, coming to the class. For those of you joining for the first time, I know we are also on YouTube. I know that slowly, eventually, we will gradually migrate to YouTube, because we will have a bigger reach and then you'll be able to share more easily directly from YouTube. You can actually press rewind and rewatch. A lot of, I heard there's so many more advantages to being on YouTube, but for now we are here. So thank you for coming. So what is a Wellness Wednesday? A Wellness Wednesday is that once a week, we take the day and the time to pay attention to one of our greatest, in fact, the most important asset that you have, because it doesn't matter how much money you have, talent you have, anything you have, or if the health is not balanced, it doesn't feel that. I even jokingly sometimes say, even if you want to step out for service for God or humanity, it is that much easier if you don't have to do it from a sick bed or a wheelchair. So Wellness Wednesday is a day where we come together and just learn a bit about our body and then know what is our own contribution to healthcare. Since we've waited for systems, government, presidents, we've been waiting all this while, better technology, yet the death rate has not gone out. We are taking over the matter to ourselves. We are saying we will do the little that we can do to make sure that we secure our own health. And that is what this platform is all about. So once again, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. The topic, which I'm going to go to the slide shortly, it's about, we've been doing this wellness for a while, but are you seeing results? Do you want to see results? Is there something missing? What are you not doing correctly that you're not seeing the result? Things like that. So that's what we are going to address today. Once again, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. My name is Dr. Susanna. My background, I have to mute everybody since it's not muted. Yeah. So my background is in preventive and promotional medicine. So I have a master's in preventive and promotional medicine. I also have a master's in health management. And so that's the background that I'm using to really push this. Of course, I also did lifestyle medicine. That's in Harvard Medical School. So I'm a big fan, even on the academic side, of preventive wellness, how to get well. And what is my story? My story has been told so many times, but I know that many people join new people keep coming. If this were to be like a church service, say, oh, all the new members come out, you are welcome, and all that. But I just assume every class there's a new member. So the story is that my parents got to the age where they got into their 40s and 50s, and things started setting in: hypertension, diabetes, obesity, waist pain, all those things that will naturally set in if we don't pay attention. And some people didn't know, like my dad says it, how I wish I knew that if I didn't do something proactively, it will be like knowing that there are nails on the road and I'm not wearing my slippers and I'm going to walk on top of a nail. So a lot of people did not know. So if you're already having hypertension, diabetes, or any of these ailments that we are trying to fight and reverse, please forgive yourself. It's not your fault. The good news is that people live on many medical conditions till they are 102. It's not a big deal. The most important thing, can you get up and do what you're supposed to do on a daily basis? So my parents got sick. Their medications just keep coming and coming, but they were not getting better. It was just from one class of drug to another class of drug to drugs to drugs to admission to drugs until, God, I just got this thing in my mind, like, what else is out there? How do you heal yourself? What can you do so that even the drugs can start working? And that's what led me to learning how to heal the body from little things from home. And I helped my parents to heal their body out. The medications dropped a lot. Yes, when you're almost 90, one or two medications will creep back in, but I watched the medication go from like so many, 15, 16, just dropped to almost nothing. And they are now like almost in their 90s, and they are able to, see their children, their grandchildren, they're happy. And I want that story for everybody, not the sickness part, the fact that you can live, you can lead, and you can actually leave a legacy and watch your legacy, whether the legacy is your children, a house you built, enjoy your old age and all of that. So that's what this is all about. So we learned simple things. So those of you just joining us newly, welcome. Today's lecture is on why is the result not coming? Because there are so many wellness practices. I mean, before you even open your mouth, we in Dr. Physique, when you come in, there's a form you fill out. It's like a lifestyle analysis. Before you even ask one question, they'll tell you one story about tomato diet. Oh, I used to drink beetroot. I'm drinking garlic and ginger and lemon. All sorts of stories we hear. So the question is, if you're doing all of these things, why wasn't it working? What's going on? So we just want to play with that topic so that you can have a better understanding and then maybe get the formula that will help it work. And then also have an understanding of how to approach wellness so that wellness will work for you the way it is working for me and working for a lot of people. It's already working for you, but we even want it to work faster with speed. For those of you that are much younger and you've not gotten any sickness yet, or whether you're younger or older, if you're not sick, just thank God. I promise you that these habits of health that you pick from this platform will help you to not even know what is hospital admission and all these things that we are trying to reverse. So some people are trying to reverse on this platform, and some people are trying to prevent. The information I'm about to share is good for both, whether you're reversing an ailment or you're preventing or you're just learning for other people. The information today is for you. So I'm going to move into the slides. And while I share my screen, I want to thank you so much for always inviting new persons to the platform and not just listening for yourself. I believe that if you keep sharing with no less than 10 persons, honestly, only us on this platform, we can change the world. So that is that. So now I am sharing my screen. In 1 second. Okay, so it says I'm sharing my screen now. Alrighty, so this is the lecture. So once again, welcome to the platform. Why your wellness practices may never yield speedy results. Get the correct formula. A presentation to wellness participant, which you are all my family, okay? And it's done by me, Dr. Susanna, and that's my, background. All right, so before we get started, just a small story, my own story. Okay, but before I do my story, let me read the objective so that maybe the story will help drive the point home. So the objective of this presentation, that is what we are here to do, is actually help you, the participant, the listener, to understand why your wellness effort may not be producing speedy results. Did you understand that? So I'm not saying that it's not producing results, but it's producing results small. In fact, it may be producing results and you're not even aware. Some of you, it's when you go to lab, you're like, oh, this thing has disappeared. So things are working, may not work as fast. And some people, it's not even working. Either way, you will benefit. Okay? Identify the missing link that is slowing down your progress. Okay, so why is your progress slowed down? And then also learn the correct holistic formula that accelerates healing. Not just healing, weight loss, vitality, total body wellness. The whole idea of this whole conversation today is that if you do things the right way, you will get the right result, and you will get the right result faster. So that is the objective. So that is what we are going to talk about. So before we delve in, I like the presentation to be relatable, okay? At least I know that all of us on this platform, even if you don't own a car, you have seen a car before, you have entered a car before. Some of you even drive the car, and some of you even repair the car. So we know what a car is. So we are going to, the body is like a car, okay? Yes, it's not mechanical like a car and all of that, but just take it that the body is like a car for the purpose of this presentation. Now, if the body can be linked, it's like a car. Hang on, I'm getting interference, so I want to mute.
This one's
Okay, please, can you mute yourself? Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to. Okay. Mute all.
please just
Yeah. Okay. All right. That always happens. I mute all, and then for some weird reason, it unmutes itself and does what it does best. So I'm sure we'll not be having all these problems when we are on YouTube. I heard, but whatever. And we even paid for the premium package for Zoom. So I don't understand how this works. So bear with me. So the whole presentation is about getting the right formula so that way, whatever you're doing for wellness, whether you're drinking water for wellness, it will work. Whether you're sleeping for wellness, it will work. Whether you're exercising 10,000 steps a day for wellness, it will work. Whether you're exercising in the gym or at home, it will work. The whole idea is that we want our wellness practices to yield speedy results. So I was starting to say two short examples or a story or whatever. Think of a car. So if the body is like a car, right? One of what people do is, okay, see the car is here. Okay, can you say this is a car? Assuming you drive and you understand the car very well. This is a car. I will add, okay, you go to work, you drive 2 hours to go to work from 7 a.m. and you drive 2 hours to come back from 5 p.m. So you go to work 7 a.m., you leave your house 7 a.m., you come back 5 p.m. every single day, no matter what, okay? So you drive this car. This is a car now, not the human being, human body. So you have a car and you say, on this car, I'm going to add only water. If you add only water and the oil is short, how is that car going to perform? And for how long is that car going to perform? Okay, you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to add, assuming you have both empty water and empty oil. You said, oh, you know what? Let me just add only oil. There's no water. Overheating, right? You're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to add water. I'm going to add oil. But I will not add petrol. For crying out loud. So you can see the body is even more complicated than the car. You not add petrol. Okay, another one is that, okay, you know what? I've added water, I've added oil, I've added petrol, but the tire, one of the tire is flat. The car, you're still going to have problem. So what am I trying to say? The body is like a car. Now, also usage, how you're using the car. I had a driver who now became a commercial driver. And one day he called to ask me for money. He was looking for 35,000 naira. And I was like, what? Why do you need? He says that he services his car every week. Me, I've heard that you can service your car every month, maybe even every quarter. Some people, they don't service until they hear that the engine knock or something, you know. But depending on the usage of the car, depending on the usage of your body, will also determine how you're going to service it, etc. Now, we should also bear in mind that we all have different genes and DNA and everything. So repair speed and everything. So, but let's leave the ones that we don't have control over. The summary of this introduction is that from now on, see your body as a vehicle that was deliberately created for navigation on Earth. It's not a spaceship. It's not a ship on the water. It is a body that was created for earthly existence. So just like if you use a car, after 20, 30, 40 years, it will go down. Now, if you service your car engine when the car is brand new, even if it's once in 6 months, nothing will happen. But once your car is like 40 years old, you cannot afford. So I just want you to have that at the back of your mind. So link the body to a car when we are going through this so that you can understand the formula that I'm about to release towards the end of this presentation. Now, I have read the objective, and the objective is for us to understand why we are in wellness class, we are doing wellness practices, but your skin is not glowing. You have not turned to become a teenager and all of that. The gray hair is still coming, etc. The question is, what's going on? So, introduction. It says many people are actively involved in wellness practices, eating clean, diet and stuff. Yet a painful question remains, why am I not seeing it in my body? Why is my body not responding? The problem is not effort or discipline. The problem is approach. So tell yourself the problem is approach. Okay, so that is already, I've already given one big formula, is the approach. So, but we'll talk about it. Modern wellness culture, this is the problem. Modern wellness culture promotes action without order. So you see somebody wake up in the morning, they'll add black seed, put turmeric, cancel it with carrots, everything all at the same time. Do you know that there is a right order to put in these wellness things in your body? There's even a right time to put these wellness things in your body for you to get speedy results, or else you just use one and cancel the other. But the body is not, like a normal machine. As I said, it requires sequence. So when wellness practices ignore biochemistry, the nervous system, I would say consistency and completeness, things scatter. So here's the truth that I want you to know. The body responds to alignment, not desperation. So a lot of us, we are attacking wellness with desperation. You just say you have high cholesterol. Hey, high cholesterol, olive oil, and then you carry the olive oil, you even fry and cause more cholesterol in your body. I've heard of flaxseed. You know what? We need to do Quaker oats. When you're that desperate and do everything all at the same time, sometimes you actually slow down or stall the speed. Wellness outcome depends on sequence, synergy, consistency, biological readiness. In fact, this is your take home. And I'll just break it down for you. Sequence. If you're not using the right sequence, it's better you don't even start. And I'll describe sequence for you, so that if you've already messed up, you can start all over. It's even better you drop what you were doing, start all over in the right sequence. Second one, synergy. Third, consistency. Okay, so before I go very far, I want to talk about consistency here once and for all. I want to talk about consistency because even if you have all of these things that is on this slide and you don't have consistency, then you don't have anything. So I'm going to ask you a question. Let me go back to Zoom. Let me ask you a simple question. So at what temperature does water boil? Please type it on the chat form. At what temperature does the water boil? I'm checking the chat. Does somebody know what temperature the water boils? 100 degrees centigrade. Okay. 100 degrees, 100 degrees. I guess we are, Celsius, sorry. 100 degrees. What of Fahrenheit? I grew up in Fahrenheit environment. I think 212 or so, right? Okay. So I want to put, where is that hand clapping thing for everybody? You got it correctly. Definitely, you did well. So you're correct. I don't know how to find the hand clapping, so you just get this one for now. Okay, good job. So 100 degrees, okay, Celsius. Now, the simple question again is, if you get to, you can also type it there, if you get to 90 degrees, even 95 or 97, you started at 30, what is the temperature, normal room temperature, like the water we drink from your home? What is the temperature of a normal room temperature water? Wow, if you know that one, I will give you, in fact, you see what I'm going to send to you on this platform. What is that? 27. Excellent. You're so good to me. Thank you. In fact, this is what you get. 23, it will still go, etc. So definitely under 30 is where perfect. Under 30 is better than, when they say tepid and warm water, you're talking 30 and above, but this temperature is okay. Now, you put it on the kettle, on fire, you start boiling it. So you see, if you're using a thermometer, okay, you see it will start going 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. When it gets to 90, you see that the kettle will start making a lot of noise. It will start shaking and everything, right? Have you noticed that? The kettle will start shaking, making a lot of noise, go ju. In fact, some of you that are impatient, you notice that immediately some of you will carry it and pour it on the gari, assuming you want to make gari or whatever, right? But it will go to 95, 97. It will go to 98, 99. At 99, you see the water will be shaking like this. I don't know whether you notice. And then once it hits 100, it just go boom, it boils out. It's such a beautiful thing to watch if you're like very scientific. But these days we are so busy, we don't even have time to observe things anymore. So the water boils at 100 and boils out. Okay, what is my point? Your health and wellness practices is exactly like that water thing that I've just described. So when you're starting a certain practice, assuming you said, okay, Dr. Susan, give us your own formula. What are you using? Your own Dr. Susan's formula identically. And of course, if you ask me, I'll give you. Give me your own formula. Then you now start. You're coming at 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Once you now reach like 90, somebody said, oh, there's a new company in town. They are now doing turmeric with beetroot. Guess what? The minute you remove your hand, you were almost at 97 and 100, where your body will just set and move into permanent wellness. You remove your hand, you start another program. And then you now start this turmeric and a beetroot program. You come, you put 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, almost at 99, because it takes a long time for the water to boil. Even when the water moves from 25 degrees, 30 degrees, 40, it's not even moving. It's just looking like nothing is happening. That is how the body works. I want to add that for those of you reversing a medical condition, yes, it might happen faster for some people than others. You have to be patient, because there's no chronic condition that somebody has now that did not use minimum 2 to 10 years to build it up. And then after 10 years, symptoms will show up. And then you say, oh, I have diabetes, I have waist pain, I have this, I have cancer, I have this. No, that thing that you now think you have, oh, I was just diagnosed. Yes, you're just diagnosed, but the thing was happening 10 years. So if you're using a natural approach to get rid of something, you have to be initially a little bit patient. It says, popular people say in the gym, they say, trust the process. You have to trust the process. The question is, trust the process for how long? If you're so consistent, you can start 3 months at a time, because all your red blood cells in your body, in 3 months, none of it is remaining. It's all brand new that has come. So at least you know that your body, however you're sitting down today on this platform, 3 months from now, you're a different person altogether. Right? So if you're a different person altogether, then why is it that when people start any form of wellness practice, you started this one, you don't even know that maybe if you now add ginger, you now cancel the effect of the turmeric, you just go like this, like this, like this, like this. I'm telling you now, this thing alone that I've just described could be the only single reason why your wellness practice is not working, because I am seeing it. At least we've been practicing in Nigeria consistently for about 10 years or more. And we track what people do. When you come, how are you? What did you eat? And we are writing. Do you think it's a joke? No, it's because we use it and we study how human beings are in general. So what is the take home from what I've just said? Number one, know that when you're starting a wellness practice, it's like starting to boil your water at a room temperature, and it will go to 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Allow it to boil out. And then when it boils out, the vapor will be oozing out and healing every part of your body. So that is one trick. So be patient with the process. Okay? All right. So I'm going to go back to my slide so that you can really get something, because from now, I know that there's nobody, in fact, don't even just jump into any program. Take your time. Program is like an investment. You're like, can I do this long term? Someone say, oh, you should be a vegetarian. If you cannot I cannot be a vegetarian long term. I don't know how to do it. I have tried, I have failed. I am telling you because I'm also a human being. I have tried, I have failed. So if you know that you can never be a vegetarian, then you start your vegetarian program. 2 months, 1 month, 2 months. By the 3rd month, when your body wants to reset, bam, you start eating meat. Once you start eating meat, what happens? Your body that was almost evaporating and becoming that brand new teenager body, it goes back to wherever. So I have made my point there, and I want you to take that home. So 2 things you should take home. First, your body is like a car. It works like a synergistic. Everything has to be complete at the same time. Not that you put water, you don't put fuel. You put oil, your tire is flat. It's how you're doing it. And then sometimes, which one do I do first? I'm going to quickly cover that as well, okay? Because I want everybody to be well. That's the only thing that God put me on this earth to do, is to ensure that you're well. And once you're well, my reward first is in heaven. Even though, yes, God has blessed me tremendously. I'm so grateful for my earthly blessings. But I know that some of us that we know what we are supposed to do on earth, your boss is upstairs and you have to do a good job. Because if any of you miss road, I feel personally responsible for not doing a fantastic job. So that's why any small example that I can ask your question, I personally read all your questions by myself. I answer them. Keep the questions coming. Everything is going to be addressed. So here's a summary of the core truth. Again, number 1, sequence. How are you doing it? Are you doing one and leaving the other one? Are you are you eating your potato before your egg? Are you eating your vegetable before your meat? Sequence matters. And that's why people also partner with wellness experts to get a formula. Okay. 2, synergy. There has to be synergy. You cannot carry palm oil and put in Mercedes and think it will work with the base of fuel. No, it cannot work. Consistency. I just used like almost 7 to 8 minutes to describe consistency as a mandatory factor for you to see. Mandatory. You must be consistent until your water will boil. You must be consistent till your water will boil. If you're not consistent, don't start. There's no need to start. And then obviously the biological readiness and etc. So since I have taken my time to sort of explain this, the rest of the presentation will go much faster. So wellness practices without a formula. Most people approach it like this. Random dietary changes. Today you're drinking charcoal. Tomorrow you're drinking urine. Next tomorrow you're drinking hot water therapy. Another day is cold water because the house is too hot. Another day you're vegetarian. Then you say, oh, I am not, this is the one that kills the body. I am not a breakfast person. But then you go to work, that sharing meat pie you eat today. Tomorrow you don't eat breakfast. Next tomorrow you go, oh, I'm not a dinner person. Tonight, oh, I came back too late. Let me just eat small. You're killing yourself. Your other wellness practices, you have used that to cancel it. That is number 1. 2, borrowed routine from social media. Instead of people to come online here and know that everything we teach on this platform is from patient testimony. Last week, you heard all the people that have been practicing wellness, what they said. You go to internet, like today, I know that maybe, I don't know, but I'll just say what is. Someone asked me and I asked permission from the person that I will use this as an example. Someone asked me that they saw something on the internet, that there's something you just take your mouth and put in your mouth, take in your mouth. Immediately your stomach that was over here just disappears. You can imagine. So all these AI ads and stuff like that, we need to remove our eyes from it and know that natural approach to healing has a sequence, has a formula, and we'll talk about it. Another thing is copying what worked for someone else. Even identical twins are not that identical. They don't have the same DNA. I've only met 2 girls that they were so identical with their passport photograph. I even told the person that was making their ID used one for the two of them. That is, but you know what? Their fingerprint is not the same. So you cannot, so for all these network marketing companies that are out there, definitely they're selling fantastic products. But I'll tell you, a network marketing product, you give it to person A, it will reverse blindness. You give it to person B, it will start glaucoma. The eye pressure will even start going up. So that is why I always preach doandlisten.com. So when you're doing what, the whole idea is, why is my wellness thing not working? It's because you're copying, you're just hearing testimony of one person. You will do it and listen to your body. If it doesn't work, you change the approach. Better if you change the approach after 3 months. So, of course, if you're doing it and you know that this one will not work, you immediately move. But when you see that small, I'm sleeping better, something is happening. So it's exactly like boiling that water from 25 degrees Celsius, and then it goes to 35, and you're looking at the water, nothing is happening. 40, nothing is happening. 50, 60. Some people, once it gets to 90 and the pot is shaking, you're like, oh, I'm there. You're not there yet. You need to let the water boil out. Another thing is treating symptoms instead of system. Some of you, when you come to, let's say, a wellness center or start something was sticking from your hand. As soon as it start coming down, oh, I'm well, you cut it off. So that is it, okay? So what am I saying? Wellness practices without a formula will lead to temporary improvement, plateaued result, relapse, frustrations. These are the common mistakes that everybody is making. So understanding wellness formula, okay? Well, I told you in the beginning that I'm going to give you a formula, and, so anytime you're jumping into any wellness practice, this is what I want you to have in your mind, okay? If you remove even one factor from it, automatically your result is not going to be fast. So what is that formula? That is what we are going to. So I'm just giving you small, bit by bit, okay? Okay. So this is it. Wellness, okay, the one I practice, is equals to foundation. You have to work on the foundation, alignment, timing, and consistency. Once you have all four, the answer is called momentum. What is momentum? I even had to go to the dictionary. I've been using momentum since I was small, a little. But I had to go to dictionary. Like, what is momentum? Momentum, according to Webster, is progress, consistency with progress. That means something is progressively working. There's momentum. So once you get into that momentum, that space where you have, the ball is now finally rolling, or, it takes almost half the tank of aeroplane. I don't have the facts exactly right, but it takes a lot of petrol to get the aeroplane to get, to get flying. But once it gets in the air, it uses almost nothing to stay up. You can imagine. So that once it gets the momentum, it keeps going. So we need to get to that space of momentum. All right. So I said the formula has to do with foundation, alignment, timing, and consistency. What is foundation? Because if you miss any of these four, forget it. But if you have all four, you have what is called system integration. Please, somebody type it on our thingy there. System integration. Everybody type it, system integration. Once you get to a space of system integration and momentum, you have it going on long term. So remember, you cannot miss any, okay? So what is foundation? Foundation is body readiness. The body must be ready. Look at this. You cannot build wellness on a weak foundation. You can't build up. So you have to correct the foundation. What are some foundation that must be corrected for your wellness thing to be fast like this? Number one, your gut health. And that's why, like, if you come to Dr. Physic, the first thing we do, we clean out your gut. Because guess what? If you start eating your fruits and vegetable and everything, if the gut is dirty and there's no digestive enzymes or microbiome, how will the absorption happen? You just hear that one fruit is working. You carry it and put it on a rotten stomach with too much acid and too much gas. Tell me how you're going to get your result. Talk am now. How are you going to get your result? Foundation is everything. Second thing, your liver. They say the liver is your detoxification warehouse of the body. This liver is more than that. In fact, if you take paracetamol today, if your liver does not recognize it and change it to the molecular structure that will sit on the pain receptor site, pain does not go away. That's the liver for you. So pain, liver health. So that's why if you come to like a wellness center, like Dr. Physic, for example, they'll do gut cleaning. They'll give you something like milk thistle. Milk thistle. We call it liver tea, liver cleanser, so that the liver can cleanse. People only get milk thistle after they say you have fatty liver. You can start a proactive method of taking milk thistle maybe once or twice a month to clean out your liver proactively, okay? Then another foundation that must be checked is your blood quality. People will start turmeric diets, meanwhile they have low platelets. And when they have low platelets and they start turmeric in there and garlic, they cause further internal bleeding. In fact, they mess their lives up. You can see why sometimes medically guided wellness is actually just the best way. But in the absence of medically guided wellness, because my covenant with God is, what can I teach you all to be doing from home is you can also listen to your body. Your body would also tells you that something is not perfect most of the times within a day or two of that thingy, okay? Another foundation is hormonal imbalance. You just hear that, oh, this product is working. You don't know whether you have enough testosterone, whether you have enough estrogen, whether you don't even know, you jump in. Obviously, the nervous system stability. So there are some foundation. The other ones are more medical, but at least your gut health. And that is why some people, they decide to do maybe just water and fruit fasting for 3 days before they begin a program. Most people that don't have a clinic, they try that. It still works. It helps. But obviously, it can never be compared to, let's say, doing something like a colonic hydrotherapy. But it still helps. So you have to clean out your gut and treat your gut so that when you start your program, absorption will happen. I say it every single time. A 16-year-old will eat an apple and the body is able to extract 100 milligrams of vitamin C easily because of GI motility, digestive enzymes, and everything. But a 60-year-old, it's the same apple. Highest amount of vitamin C that the person will get there will be like 16 milligrams to the bloodstream. Why? Because you have a lazy bowel, sluggish, your GI motility is so sluggish, no probiotics, no prebiotics, no digestive enzymes. So you need to treat your gut First, as a foundation before you start any wellness, if you want to see it work for you. So these are signs that you were using a weak foundation. If you have started a wellness program, you're becoming sluggish, it was a weak foundation. You're constantly fatigued, weak foundation. You're still having poor digestion, even on a wellness program, weak foundation, etc. So that's that. Okay? Remember, this is the formula. The formula says foundation, alignment, timing, and consistency. So I've told you about foundation. If the foundation is not good, you will waste your time. The objective of the presentation is to talk about why is your own not speedy. Some people say, oh, I did cleansing and colonics 2-3 years ago. Are you kidding me? You're thinking your stomach is dirty every 3 to 6 months. It's already dirty. So that is why it's not working again for those of you. Okay. The second one is alignment. Many people follow wellness plans that do not match their internal states. Not all wellness program is for everybody. For example, you go on the internet and hear that HIIT, that is high intensity workout, is the best way. Meanwhile, your body is designed for maybe stretching, or not maybe walking, or maybe, everybody's body is different. So you have to listen to your body. 2, if you're already so weak and you go and do high intensity workout, you're already 60 years old, you've never lifted a 5 kg weight. You hear that weightlifting is good for older people. You go and start at 30, you will break down. Detox in malnutrition. People are just detoxing their lives away, really, and it's not good. It says here, the body you have and not the body you want. So when you're starting a wellness program, do it for the body you have and not just for the body you want. So you want to build muscle, you must not start from 20 kg, you can start from 5. Another alignment issue, calorie restriction. You just start dieting blindly. Get a meal plan from a nutritionist that knows what they're doing. Because there was a time I interviewed 16 nutritionists in Abuja, 16. I could not get one. Eventually, the brightest one and the one that could learn, we just had to hire that one and now train the person. Then nobody heard about meal plan for healthy people. It was only for diabetics and sick people in the hospital. They didn't even understand what we are talking when we started about 10 years ago. But today, meal plans are everywhere. You see Pomo, you see all kinds of meal plan. But, just make sure it's working for you. Supplement without correcting absorption. There's a supplement called vitamin A, D, E, ADEK, A, D, E, and K. These are fat-soluble vitamins. You must take it with a little bit of fat to aid absorption. So there are so many things that we are doing wrongly. So the solution here is, if you're taking vitamin A for eye, D, E, or K, maybe you're taking on a salad. Don't say, oh, I eat dry salad. You need at least avocado or coconut oil to aid the absorptions of those. So you can see why the whole presentation is to help you to forgive yourself for maybe the speed is not coming. Wellness is very technical, actually. But by God's grace, when I'm done, at least I'll show you the little you can get started with to see if you can get something. Remember I said this is the formula. It's only 4 things on the formula: foundation, alignment, timing, and consistency. So we have only 2 left and we are done. So we've talked about foundation. We've talked about alignment. Now we want to talk about timing. Not too long ago, we did a presentation on timing. The body operates on rhythm. There's something called hormonal cycle, circadian rhythm, healing windows. If you did not get your thing in when it is healing window, it will not work. Okay, look at this one, for example. The body is supposed to be sleeping at night. You eat just before you go to bed. The food you eat at night turns to poison. And you're saying that you're doing wellness. Second one, exercising when cortisol is up. Cortisol is already a stress hormone. Your stress, you go for exercise. You can actually have a stroke or heart attack. So when you're too stressed, first you calm yourself down with deep breathing exercises. Then the best time to exercise is either early in the morning or late in the evening, as you can see here. Doing detox during illness, like when people come to the clinic, Dr. Fizi, they want to do colonics. We have to assess them and make sure that they're well enough to go through colonics. And sometimes we skip colonics for some people, or we skip a day, etc. So wrong timing can cancel the good habit. What are we talking about? The objective of this presentation is, why is it that we are doing wellness, but this result is not coming very fast? So if you do correct timing, everything will work fast. And lastly, is, hang on. So, sorry. Okay, sorry, I keep going back and forth so that you can get it. So we've covered foundation, we've covered alignment, we've covered timing. So, and the last one is consistency. So let's talk about consistency. So what is consistency? Consistency is the speed multiplier. For me, whether it's in weight loss, weight gain, money making, anything, consistency is everything. Look at this. It says, speedy results do not come from intensity. Don't kill yourself one day, take 2 days off. Somebody told me I exercise 4 hours in a day, 2 times a week, some weeks. Are you kidding? Then you wonder why you've not achieved your aim. So extreme is not good. So, but if you do consistency builds cellular memory. Cellular memory. So you're slowly building cellular memory so that even if you eventually stop, that cellular memory is like a thermostat, will keep you well forever. It will keep you well forever because you now have slow, gradual cellular memory for a perfectly healthy body. Sorry, God, I speak with the highest humility. I feel like I have cellular memory for a healthy body because I don't overdo, but I am very, very consistent. If 2 days passes and I did not go to, even I will feel it in my body. And sometimes I will go to a gym for just 5 minutes, even mentally. You see that you'll be better, or you go for a walk 5 minutes or whatever. So the point I'm saying is that when you're forming habits of health and going into wellness practices, small, but consistency. Remember, the first thing we talked about was consistency, which is boiling the water. If the water doesn't boil out and the vapor is going around, you will not enjoy your cellular memory for wellness. So consistency builds metabolic efficiency, healing, etc. Inconsistency will confuse your entire body. So those are the final 4 formulas. So if you now have consistency, you have alignment, you have timing, alignment, and then you also have foundation. In fact, you've gone. You don't go with that. That is it. You've gone. Okay. Now, I want to give you what they call the catalyst. That is the icing on the cake that speeds up wellness reaction. The catalyst most people miss is called system integration. I introduced it in the beginning. When you have system integration, you feel like a superstar. So what is system integration? This means, for example, you do things. Remember, we talked about sequence, we talk about consistency, like that ahead. So, for example, a system integration can look like this: nutrition plus sleep plus stress management, movement and environment, like that. So, when I talk about system integration, I use a car. All things must align together for it to really work. So if you do one and leave out the other one, it cannot work. It won't work. I have a client who, for some weird reason, he's doing everything right, but his only enemy in this life is drinking water. And guess what? Once the person was able to drink water, everything in the body reset. So you can tell that even if you're doing 10, out of 10 things, you're doing 9, maybe just not doing 1 will not allow the thing to work. So it's called system integration. So healing the cause, not chasing the symptom, allowing the body to cooperate instead of forcing it. Okay. Now, why some people heal faster than others? It is not luck. It's this system integration called biological cooperation. Okay. So fast healers, the first thing you're going to do if you want to get started, reduce inflammation first, in that order. How do you reduce inflammation? It's a big topic that I want to crunch in less than an hour. So I think I'll do part 2 because I committed to just an hour of lecture and not beyond. So I think I will have to divide it because I think it's such a big topic and such an important topic that instead of rushing through, I think I'm deliberately going to cut it off here, not disturb you, because I wanted to give you what you can start doing before I will go and conclude. But I want to stop here because definitely you have picked something already. For the sake of time, and people that are very scheduled, you can't tell them that it's 1 hour and then you now come and then you now come and be staying forever. So let me just summarize the little that we have learned today. Okay. The topic is why wellness practices may never yield speedy results. Get the correct formula. I'm sure that I have done a decent job in my spirit explaining some of the reasons why you're not getting speedy results. Okay. And in that process, really quickly, we have talked about this. We've talked about the fact that there has to be a sequence, synergy, consistency, and then, of course, biological readiness. Remember that thing about foundation to give you the biological readiness for the thing to catch fire, okay? And then another take home is that I talked about the formula, which is that foundation must be ready. It's like you want to build a flat or a story building. It's foundation first. Alignment must be there. Timing window. You can't put, for example, you cannot eat. There are some things you don't eat in the morning, there are some things you don't eat in the night, etc. And then I now talked about consistency. For consistency, what I wanted you to take home today is that you have to be consistent long enough and not keep jumping from one program to another, to another, to another. So this is, in general, what is the reason why, the reason why you're not getting your result as fast as you want to. I want to plead that you come back next Wednesday, so that, because if you get this topic properly, and then if you come back next Wednesday, even if you don't ask me, I will personally share my own Dr. Susan's wellness formula. What do I do within 60 minutes out of my bed? Because what you do within 60 minutes out of your bed can either add 30 healthier years to your already pre-programmed exit. 30 healthier years to your already pre-programmed exit. Because all of us have, pre-programmed. Some people are supposed to go at 70. Some people are supposed to go at 80. Some people 60, just depending on your gene and this and that. My studies prove that you can change your gene and you can add 30 healthier years beyond the age of 60. Healthier, like you'll be swagging, if you know the meaning of swag. I just have to learn these languages so that I can also communicate across all, the kids, the Gen Zs, the millennials, everybody has to be communicated. So I want you to do this for me. Please don't come alone. On Wednesday, come back. It's only 1 hour. It might even be shorter because I'm going to just recap and then give you the formula. And as a bonus for coming, I will give you my own sequence. What do I do within 60? In fact, I had a problem with my PA. I was within my 60 minutes of just getting off of bed and she wanted to disrupt it. I said, no, if you disrupt it, I don't have anything to give them. And I want her permanently never to come near. So you have to protect that 60. What do you put in within 60 minutes? 60, that is 1 hour to 1.5 hours out of your bed, is how you reset your entire biological clock for the rest of your life. I will share that information next week. So I want to thank you for your patience. It's a big class. It's a big topic. I just try my best to I thought I could just punch it, but let me not do that to you. But I hope that the little one that I have shared has already started helping you. Somebody says, many thanks, night rest. Please, is it good to be... so I can take 1 or 2 questions because of the time. So go ahead. Someone on the platform says, is it good to be eating... is it good to be eating turmeric, ginger, and garlic? Well, depending on your foundation. So the first answer is yes, it's good to eat turmeric, ginger, and garlic. But you have to listen. If you're not doing medically guided, where we have told you where your blood quality is, then you have to listen to your body. If you take it and you feel anyhow, then reduce one. You can drop the garlic because turmeric is a blood thinner. Garlic is a blood thinner. Ginger is also like a blood thinner. So it's a very potent, and that's why it's very good for like cleaning out the blood for cancers, cleaning out the blood for cholesterol, cleaning out the blood from toxins, because it thins the blood out enough, reduces inflammation. So yes, it's a good thing, but please listen to your body if you're not doing medically guided. Another person said, thank you so much, Dr. Susanna. Dr. Susan, please, how can the young couple avoid excess sodium that hinders early pregnancy in marriage. The truth of the matter is that it's just telling the brain that I'm going to move it. I don't use salt like that anymore. A little salt is good, but if you eliminate what they call Maggi or seasoning cube, you've already cut your sodium content. Another way to do it is that I'm mostly eating fruits and vegetable. And there's no way you carry Maggi and salt and add inside your fruits and vegetable. It's not possible. So one of the things is to form the habit that no day will pass if you don't eat live food, because live food gives life and dead food gives death. Doctor, thank you so much. I say thank you too. So once again, thank you so much for coming to the presentation. We'll finish next Wednesday. But in the
Please,
meanwhile,
I want to say something, Doctor.
Something.
Please,
Doctor.
you know,
Yeah.
a friend there was here with me last week, and after the water, I won't say water therapy, water fasting, you know, testimony, you know, she did, you know, what she wrote, sent to me. My sugar level used to be 5.3. That's with taking metformin. But after the 2-day water fasting, without taking my medication, behold, it came down to 3.7, to the glory of the Almighty God. So, you know, in our discussion, she was asking, what then is she to go back to her normal eating if she goes back? Because she has
she's
not
to go
eaten
back.
her normal food though.
No, she's not to go back. As I said that day, you eat so that you use the medication to bring it down. And as I said that day, if you don't eat, what are you using medication for? So I think that person should call me. Please, I don't have much time, but I'm interested in that person. Or maybe you call me so that we can strategize on how to jump out, because I can give the person a free meal plan that if the person follows the meal plan, it will further cut the amount of drug that she'll be using. But most importantly is that it will also reduce the medication that she needs. So it's not that she'll go back and be eating the way she was eating so that she can be on metformin. She can start introducing more green food, reduce carbohydrates. I know it's harder to say. Just call me separate. Let me give you something to use. Okay? Thank you so much. And thank you for the testimony. All right. Thank you so much. Yes, go ahead.
Doctor.
Yes, sir.
I had it because I was on my way driving, so I missed some of the words. But you said this lecture, I think you need to get it to part 3.
Okay, sir.
Because all what you are doing, all what you are talking about is embedded on this lecture and the practice of it. Most of us see advert in YouTube. This ginger with garlic, drink it. This one, drink it. Just drink it without guidance. You know, because these social media doctors who don't listen, some of us are just true to it. I think what important thing is that this lecture, what I learned from it, that a lot of guidance needed, because if you're telling me eat this, eat that, if I don't have plan for how to do it properly, don't take it properly, I say it's not working. So it's important because most of us have made a lot of mistakes. Even this, like talk of supplement now, vitamin D, vitamin K, all this, what you need to eat with it. Some of us don't eat it, just eat anything you like. Still they're taking supplement. So I'm advising, I'm requesting too, if it's possible. After part 1, after part 2, let's just get part 3 to conclude everything. It is important for everything.
All right, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, thank you so much. I totally understand, because the truth of the matter is that if I can take my time and teach, if I can take my time and teach properly, sequence, timing, how to get it right, and then give the formula, because I have some proven formulas. The one I use by myself, the 90 minutes, like you can't mess with my 90 minutes. And I believe is what I do then that is helping me and all of that. So I totally understand you. So I agree. Let me not rush. And then we'll take it from there. So before I go, for those of you joining for the first time, we never close our presentation without reminding us to drink water as medicine. Okay, so your water is your medicine. To when you're sleeping, you sleep like I'm taking drug, because if I don't take this drug as a sleep, I will take it by tablet. If I don't drink this water as a medicine, I will use the water to drink medicine. If I don't eat my food as medicine, then medicine is what will sustain my life as food. So I want you to have in mind that please just try. I know that I'm still teaching and coming, but meanwhile, just try your best. There's one of the things that I did not cover, which I'll do next week, is your mind. I want you to also believe in your mind that you're already facing the direction of wellness, and even your mind alone, that you cannot run into sickness. You can't run into sickness. I will also address that next week. How to fix your mind on, in fact, you can even be changing your name inside your body. You know what I mean? So we'll talk about all of that. So thank you so much for your time. God bless you. I'm so sorry. I wish I could have done longer, but we have to go. Have a wonderful night.